in his game maybe you would want to add to yours in the league?
Man, I think Luka. I mean, Luka's amazing and he's incredible. I think the way he can not only score the ball, but also the way he passes. And I think the thing about him is like, he's not the fastest, he's not the most athletic, but he can get his defender to move where he wants him to go and he takes up that space and he does a really good job of either keeping the defender behind him or keeping him to the side. So I think that's something I can certainly learn from. Like I always kind of want to run away from the defense rather than absorbing the contact and taking up the space that they give me. So I think obviously he's pretty incredible. He averages like a 30-point triple-double. So he makes it look pretty easy, but I can promise.
That clip revealed something most fans completely missed. Caitlin Clark has publicly said she wants to model her game after Luka Doncic, the same Luka Doncic whom her head coach, Stephanie White, criticized on national television by saying he makes his team worse when he plays. Let that sink in for a moment. Your franchise player is clearly telling you who she wants to become, and it's the exact player her coach believes is a net negative. This isn't a minor disagreement about basketball philosophy. It's a fundamental clash that could end up defining the next 5 years of Indiana Fever basketball.
So, Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White, they are obviously player and coach for the Indiana Fever. Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark are two people that are most definitely going to be on the Indiana Fever next year. There is no way in hell that you fire Stephanie White before giving it a good go. There's no way in hell you do that, especially because there is absolutely, on a personal level, mutual respect from Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White. As well as that, I have no doubt about it that Caitlin Clark respects Stephanie White as well.
Here's the context everyone needs to understand. Stephanie White isn't some rookie coach figuring things out on the fly. She's led teams to 3 consecutive WNBA semifinals, won the Commissioner's Cup in 2020, and earned Coach of the Year honors. Her credentials are unquestionable, and Caitlin Clark absolutely respects that. But respect doesn't automatically mean alignment. White built that resume around a very specific basketball identity. Constant ball movement, motion offense, and full team involvement where everyone touches the ball. Now contrast that with what Caitlin said about Luka Doncic. She praised his control of pace, his ability to absorb contact instead of avoiding defenders, and how he dictates where defenders go. That's heliocentric basketball. One player dominating possessions and forcing everyone else to adjust to their gravity. And it's a complete opposite of what Stephanie White believes wins championships.
Or no, it was right before Christmas. So it was right before Luka picked up that injury. The Mavs were flying. Or maybe, sorry, no, it was just after Christmas. So up until Luka got injured, the Mavs were flying. I think they were the 2nd seed or the 3rd seed in the West. They were near the top of the West anyway. They were doing really well. Him and Kyrie were killing it. And Luka was looking like he was playing at an MVP level. Absolutely incredible. And obviously he got injured. And Stephanie White on a broadcast said that the Dallas Mavericks were much better without Luka because more people score and more people touch the ball. And the ball moves better.
December 2023 is when this tension really began, even if no one connected the dots at the time. The Mavericks were the 2nd seed in the West. Luka Doncic was playing at an MVP level, averaging over 30 points, and Dallas looked unstoppable. Then Luka got injured and missed several games, and Stephanie White, who was working as a broadcast analyst at the time, said on air that the Mavericks played better without him because the ball moved more and more players got involved in scoring. The basketball world lost its mind over the take, because while Dallas did win some games without Luka, anyone actually watching knew it wasn't sustainable. You don't build a championship team by removing your best player and hoping role players maintain that level of production. Luka came back. Dallas went on to make the NBA Finals that season, and White's comment aged terribly. But this is why it matters for Indiana. That wasn't just a bad take. It was a window into her coaching philosophy. She truly believes ball movement and balanced scoring beat individual dominance. And now she's coaching a player who wants to be Luka.
I'm not going to say Luka is the player she's most similar to, because I do believe that in the full court she's most similar to a Halliburton. But you can tell that Caitlin Clark likes to dominate the ball. And the way she works best in the half court is not through a motion offense, not through being an off-the-ball player, not being Stephen Curry. Because, by the way, Caitlin Clark is as close. Saying Caitlin Clark is Stephen Curry is like saying Trae Young Stephen Curry. Like, she's nowhere near. I wouldn't say she's anywhere near Trae Young, because like she's much like if she's Trae Young, if Trae Young was 6'7", like that's what she's equivalent of. She is the height of a small forward. Like if Trae Young was 6'7", but if Trae Young was 6'7", we'd be talking about maybe like the best player in the world. So yeah, maybe she's taller than Trae Young as is. But if you guys didn't hear it today,
let's be clear about something important. Caitlin Clark is not Steph Curry, and that comparison needs to die. It's wildly inaccurate, and has caused a lot of people to misunderstand what kind of player she actually is. Steph Curry is the greatest off-ball player in basketball history, constantly sprinting through screens, relocating, and creating chaos through movement. His game is built on defenses scrambling while other players have the ball. He's essentially a two-guard who became a point guard. Caitlin, on the other hand, is a highly heliocentric point guard who is at her best with the ball in her hands, controlling tempo, making reads, and forcing defenses to collapse on her drives or respect her shooting range. She's much closer to Trae Young, if Trae were 6 feet 7 inches. And if Trae Young were 6 feet 7 inches, we'd be talking about a top 5 player in the world. Because that extra height changes everything about finishing, passing angles, and defensive versatility. That's why the Luka Doncic comparison makes far more sense. Neither is the fastest or most athletic player on the court, but both manipulate defenders with pace, use their bodies to create space, and see passing windows that don't exist for most players. Caitlin even said herself in that interview, she runs away from contact when she should be absorbing it and taking up space like Luka does. That's real self-awareness. She knows exactly what she needs to work on.
Where she basically said the player that she looks at is the player that her coach specifically thinks is a net negative. The player her coach thinks is a net negative is like, yeah, I'm trying to be that player. Let's look at the comments. Try to get her to watch Shea tape. Is she more like Luka Doncic? Caitlin Clark is nothing like Stephen Curry. Like, not even remotely close to Stephen Curry. They don't play anything alike. Like, it's like saying, I'm trying to think of just a comparison to Stephen Curry. It's like saying Jimmer and Stephen Curry played anything alike. Jimmer just comes off screens and shoots from 30. Like, Steph Curry is this off-the-ball mover, came into the league as a two-guard, is actually a point guard. Like, Caitlin Clark's like a Halliburton-type point guard. It's mad. She is nothing. She shoots from far. She's nothing like Stephen Curry. Two favorite players, respective leagues. Caitlin Clark and Doncic get more hate from keyboard warriors. I mean, Jimmy High Roller is single-handedly saving Luka Doncic's life.
This is where the coaching tension becomes a real problem, because what Caitlin Clark actually needs to improve is pretty straightforward. She needs to get better finishing with her left hand, become more confident shooting when going right, so defenses can't force her left every possession, and continue improving defensively, which she did make real progress on last season. Those are incremental improvements, the kind that turn a Rookie of the Year into a legitimate MVP candidate. She was already close enough as a rookie that small refinements could have pushed her over the top. Instead, heading into her second season, it felt like she tried to rebuild everything at once. She looked slower. Her finishing became inconsistent. She missed open layups she would have made as a rookie, and her confidence shooting to the right was still shaky. Even though her defense improved, the offensive regression was noticeable before injuries ever entered the picture. It's the Angel Reese problem all over again. Remember when Reese spent an entire offseason working on step-back threes and hesitation dribbles, only coming to the season still struggling with basic layups? You can't build Rome in a day. You master layups first, then mid-range, then gradually expand your game over years. That kind of progression is what turns a player into a perennial all-WNBA talent. Trying to skip steps just leaves you bad at everything instead of elite at one thing.
Somebody blocked me. Actually, I got hit in the Angel Reese block wave yesterday. For what reason, I don't know. I haven't tweeted about Angel Reese in months, other than dunking on people with Angel Reese in 2K. But yeah, I got hit by the block wave yesterday. But yeah, it is one of those things where people watching Shea tape. Caitlin Clark does not have the body control to be Shea. I mean that. She doesn't have... There is... For lack of a better word, she doesn't have the shiftiness. Like Caitlin Clark, her athleticism is stop-start. the constant go, 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 go. Like, Caitlin is a relentless pace type player. She can play at a breakneck pace. She sprints. There's no player in the league that can do as many sprints as Caitlin Clark can. She's go, 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 go. And she makes sure everyone has to go with her. And if you run with her, she will get you free. Shea is kind of slower, shiftier, can get to his spots, can move around in the half court. Caitlin Clark does not have the body control, and she's never going to have the body control. Like, if we're talking WNBA to Shea, that's where you're looking at, like, your Pages of the world. Your Courtney Williams is just a good mid-range shooter.
Here's what makes the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander comparison interesting. Some people have suggested that Caitlin Clark should study Shai's tape instead of Luka's. And to be fair, Shai is incredible. He has that smooth, shifty body control that lets him get to his spots in the half court without elite speed, manipulating defenders with subtle movements and changes of pace. But Caitlin doesn't have that body type, and she never will. Her athleticism is different. She's a relentless pace player. Sprint, 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 constantly pushing tempo until defenses break. She runs more sprints per game than almost anyone in the league. And if defenders can't keep up, she gets easy buckets in transition. That's her true athletic advantage. Shai's game is built on fluidity and half-court control, requiring a level of body control and lateral quickness Caitlin simply doesn't possess. If we're talking about WNBA players with that kind of Shai-like fluidity, someone like Kelsey Plum comes closer with her smooth, shifty ability to slip through tight spaces. But even then, Plum relies more on mid-range scoring than deep threes or rim pressure, which limits the comparison. The Luka model makes far more sense for Caitlin because it doesn't demand elite athleticism. It demands basketball IQ, court vision, the ability to control pace, and the size to absorb contact. Caitlin already has 3 of those 4. She just needs to get more comfortable using her body instead of trying to run around defenders.
Their movement like a Shea. Like, Paige is probably your best example of it. But imagine if Shea never, instead of focusing on mid, never shot the 3 or never went to the basket. That's what Paige Beckers is. Like, and was mediocre, below average on defense. Like, Paige is Timu Shea. But in terms of how they play, absolutely. Again, Caitlin is, like, if Caitlin can become a Luka type player in the half court, I don't think she will. Luka's too big and strong, finishes too well at the basket. And I still think that Caitlin, her peak is I don't think Caitlin's ever going to be the best half court player in the WNBA. I don't think that's a thing that's going to happen. I think Caitlin is looking at these players trying to get better. I think as much as anything, what we saw from Caitlin as a rookie, all she needs to do is be better at going left and taking left-hand layups, be a little bit better at shooting going right so that she's the threat, and get a little bit better on defense. And that player, with the right players around her, is the best player in the world. Like, I think she was close. Was close enough as a rookie to be the best player in the world that you don't need wholesale changes to her game, which I think she tried to make coming into her second season. And it was the biggest problem when I remember talking about the Angel Reese workouts. I was like, the problem I felt with the Angel Reese workouts was that she was trying to build Rome in a day, and she came into last season still unable to score layups. Like, she was spamming this dribble hezzy sidestep bullshit, and she couldn't make layups. I'm like, so you're shooting this sidestep thing at like a 25% rate. You spend the whole offseason working at it, but you still can't make layups. I'm like, work on the layups, work on getting that shot up, then progress it out to mid, then progress it out to 3, and it's like gradual improvements. Rome's not built in a day, and by year 5 you're then looking at Angel Reese, a perennial All-W player. Whereas last year, in fairness, I did think there was, before she got injured, I thought she was looking like an All-WNBA player. I really did. There was a spell of about 20 games where she was averaging like 17 and 15. Like, that was, like, if she can do that consistently over the course of a full season instead of a half a season, she's an All-W player next season. But I do feel like Caitlin made the similar mistake of trying to build Rome in a day. And in the end, we saw it last year. Caitlin came in slower. Even before the injury, she came in slower. She still had no real ability to shoot right. Not even that she didn't have the ability, because I think she has the ability. She still didn't have the confidence in it. She got better on defense, but her finishing was all over the place. She didn't really know how to control her body. She was missing open layups all last year. Like, Caitlin was missing open layups. It was a weird one, because you could tell the same player was in there. Like, if Caitlin made open layups last year, she would average close to 20 a game. It's mad. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads.
Let's bring this full circle and talk about what it actually means for the Indiana Fever moving forward. Because this isn't just about one interview, one offseason, or one philosophical disagreement. It's about whether the head coach and the franchise player are truly aligned on the kind of team they're trying to build. Stephanie White is not getting fired, and that needs to be said clearly. Fans calling for her job are being unrealistic. She's made 3 straight semifinals, won the Commissioner's Cup, and proven she knows how to win. The organization respects her. Caitlin Clark respects her, and there's genuine mutual respect between them. But mutual respect doesn't erase philosophical differences. White believes in motion offense, ball movement, and balanced scoring, a style that has won championships and isn't inherently wrong. The problem is that it doesn't maximize what makes Caitlin special. Caitlin is at her best with the ball in her hands, controlling pace and forcing defenses to react to her decisions. She's not an off-ball mover like Steph Curry or a system player who thrives in constant motion. She's a heliocentric engine who bends defenses by being the focal point, which is exactly the Luka Doncic model she said she wants to emulate. Heliocentric basketball is inferior. It's just different, and it works when you have a player good enough to carry that load, as Luka, Trae Young, and James Harden have all proven. The real question isn't whether White is a good coach. She clearly is, but whether she's the right coach for the specific player at this specific moment in the franchise's timeline. Last season showed the risk of misalignment. Caitlin looked slower, less confident, and missed shots she routinely made as a rookie. Some of that was natural second-year adjustment, and some was injury-related. But part of it may have come from trying to fit into a system that doesn't suit her strengths. If she had focused on incremental improvements, finishing left, shooting right, and continuing defensive growth, she would have been in the MVP conversation. Instead, it felt like there was pressure to become a different kind of player, prioritizing movement and flow over control and dominance. Maybe that approach works long-term, and maybe years from now Caitlin becomes an elite off-ball player in a motion-heavy system. But that's not who she is right now, and it may never be her natural game. Her Luka comment revealed how she sees herself, a pace-controlling, contact-absorbing guard who dictates defensive positioning and serves as the engine of the offense, not just a piece in a larger system. So the Fever face a real decision. Does White adjust her system to better fit Caitlin's strengths? Does Caitlin continue adapting to White's philosophy? Or do they attempt a hybrid that fully satisfies neither vision? Indiana can't afford to waste years of Caitlin's prime figuring this out, especially when she's already proven she can be one of the league's best players. The front office has to decide whether they're building around her strengths or trying to mold her into something else, because right now the coach and the franchise player are publicly aligned with opposite models of winning basketball. That gap isn't small, and it won't be closed by a couple conversations. If it goes unresolved, Caitlin holds leverage. She's the face of the franchise, the reason attendance exploded, and the player fans pay to see. In modern sports, stars who feel constrained eventually force change. Great coaches aren't always the right fit for every great player, and coaching fit matters as much as coaching quality. Indiana has to choose. Commit to a heliocentric offense built around Caitlin Clark. Commit to Stephanie White's motion-based philosophy. Or risk ending up with a generational player who's great at nothing instead of elite at what she does best. Caitlin has made it clear who she wants to be. The Fever need to decide now whether they're willing to let her be that player before the window starts to close.